So it was after the second bulb.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
And I was just like, this is stupid. But anyway, so we did that, like I say, just a couple times. And then in 2012, we were in the process of doing a remodel on our house.
Okay.
So got that done over the summer and into the fall. And then it's like, okay, now we're going to combine, refi, do all this stuff and combine stuff. And it's like, hey, honey.
Yes. I want to know how that conversation went.
This is where the instigator, Marty, comes in, right?
Right on.
What do you think about doing this? And so we kind of talked it out. And she wasn't opposed to the idea completely. And so, I mean, she was on board.
No. Okay, hold on. You just stop for a second. Okay, so I want to go over here for a second, Lisa. So at this point, you've walked in the house. Mm-hmm. There's some, Barry playing on the stereo.
Right.
Rose petals are out. Glass of wine.
Right. Yeah.
He's over doing some push-ups, so he looks good. By the way, honey.
Yeah.
I was thinking about buying this race car thing, and how did that? You just be quiet for a second. I want to know your impression of how you were approached to all the way. Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and spend every extra dollar we have going and playing.
Mm-hmm. Well, I knew it was coming.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The twinkle was in the eye, right?
Right on.
And after driving Marty's car, being his backup driver, and Marty had gone out of town on vacation on a couple of occasions, and that's why he was full on racing it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, all right, this is going to happen at some point. I didn't know it was going to happen that quickly, however.
Okay.
Meanwhile, there it is, and, I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Is there a point of you where like, well, I guess it's better than drugs or,
Well, true.
I mean,
it's a different form of gambling.
Oh, yeah. I
right?
like that analogy.
Yeah.
Well, so okay, so you negotiated, there's the
Yep. We had kind of the set amount.
Okay.
And then it's like, okay, so of course the next morning I'm on.
Oh yeah,
I'm on racing junk.
He
baby.
wasted zero time.
It's like looking around and nothing was really catching my eye that was like cool. That was in our price range.
Yeah.
So it was probably about a month or two of looking literally like every day.
Oh,
just seeing what, something comes up, you kind of
I do that every day anyway.
Yeah.
I don't care if I have 2 cars in the garage. I do that every day anyway. Well, if I could sell this and buy that and I could get this. Keep going.
So this is like, now it's around Christmas time and looking around, and I think it was right after Christmas, and she went to work and I was at home as I work out of the house looking around, and it's like all of a sudden this white checkerboard Nova pops up.
Where was it?
It's out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like, I
really?
I call the guy, before I even talk to her.
You just keep throwing these anecdotals in there because I like the way he's telling the story. And you're like, see, I can already picture all of this. You're like, look, honey, I found a car. Oh, that's really nice. Yeah, it's in Pittsburgh, and you going.
Mm-hmm. Of course
really?
It is.
Of course it is. Yes.
The other fucking side of the country.
Yes.
So I call the guy and it's like, I'm interested, absolutely interested. I mean, it was like, so just full disclosure. I mean, we got a good deal on the car. I mean, we bought a car and trailer for $20,500.
Wow.
Running car.
Pardon me.
So I put a deposit on it and said, like, I'll be out there in a week.
I mean, obviously contingency of the thing you get there, the thing is in a pile of shit.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's snow, and again, I traveled on.
Okay, this is where you. Oh yeah, now it's in Pittsburgh, and we're now on a road trip to hell. Okay.
Well,
okay.
So I'd sent her the pictures of it.
And I'm like,
Old school paint job. She wasn't that.
I didn't know how I felt about it. But
what did it look like originally? Now, but you stop for a second because I like getting the different impressions here. What was your first impression of the car? I mean, let's call it. Let's just go old school scale of 1 to 10. How crazy do you think he is right now at that moment?
I'm thinking it's like a 4.
Oh, okay. So you're a little skeptical.
I wasn't loving it.
Okay.
But meanwhile, it's he really loved it. So it's like, well, I mean, it's kind of your deal.
Yeah.
So you go, but I'll learn to, love it.
Adjust.
I'll
You'll put your
adjust.
2 cents. You'll put some Lisa sprinkle on.
Yeah.
it. Okay.
And maybe we'll paint it. That's what I'm thinking.
Now so it wasn't the white with the checkers.
It looks exactly
Yeah.
like it did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is what I didn't. I
Just
wasn't
a little
crazy
beat up
about
a
it.
little bit more than it was now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now you're on a road trip to
Well,
Pennsylvania.
I got a plane ticket, fly out there on New Year's Day of 2013, stay in a hotel just out of Pittsburgh, drive through snow. Of course, it's up on the top of a hill. It's not,
of course.
This area wasn't real hilly, but it's like it's snowing and
Yeah, it's East Coast mess.
all the
Yeah.
stuff. So go, and the guy's got it in a heated shop. It's
Okay, that's a good sign.
So we fire it up, and it's like, I'm just drooling.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just like, oh, this thing's so badass,
Were you trying to do a little poker face? You're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, yeah, well,
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of like the other 6 I've been looking at. And, yeah.
No, he knew I was serious. I mean, I flew from across the country, and so it's like everything's looking all good, and he fires it up, and the thing just sounds mean and all that stuff. So it's like, all right, well, the chassis was out of cert, so
Okay.
there happened to be a Division I inspector like 20 minutes away.
Perfect.
So this guy knew him, so
Oh.
he gives him a call. He shows up later that afternoon, goes through it, certs it. And it's
Oh,
like,
that was a nice little
it's like,
extra
okay,
bonus.
here you go. Because I didn't want to buy it if I didn't think it was going to serve, if it wasn't certed.
Of course.
Yeah.
So
he calls me, and it's like, okay, so we own a car.
it's a done deal.
We're the proud owners
So
of.
we travel back home the next day and get on U-Ship. And
Oh, okay.
and have,
I was wondering how you got it over here. I was wondering, I was kind of expecting you I rented this U-Haul Silverado and hooked it up, and
you couldn't drive back there and bring it back for what the U-Ship guy. He happened to be back there anyway. The guy lived in Salem.
oh, perfect.
He was back there moving a couple of fire trucks that were actually damaged in 9/11 down to the museum in Chicago.
Oh, right on. So kind of a perfect happenstance.
It worked out, and so at the end of January, the car shows up, and it's like, okay, everything's cool.
So meanwhile, waiting for the car to arrive. Oh my God.
To say the least.
And the people were delayed because of the weather coming across the country. But I mean, he is outside pacing like a nervous father.
Oh, I bet.
It was kind of hysterical.
Well, and I got.
Well, yeah.
I'm in communication with them, and they've been really good all the way across the country. And then so it's like I talked to them that morning. It's like, yeah, we'll be there like around 8 o'clock or something like that. Well, they got delayed a little bit somewhere in Oregon, and then I couldn't get a hold of them after 9 o'clock. And it's like,
so now you're
I'm thinking you fuckers are in Canada. And
that, or it's rolled over, or it's in a ditch, or it's on fire, or.
so they showed up at like 10:30.
Oh, yeah.
And the guy's like, oh, I'm sorry, my phone, it just shuts off at 9 o'clock, so they don't get bothered or whatever. And it's just like,
which makes sense. I mean, but you're like, so how many times did you call him? 137?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's a bit of a blur.
He was freaking out.
I would have been the same way.
Man. But
Where is my car? So it gets dropped off. Now this is about 2000. Well, now 13.
This is 13.
13. Okay. Now what is funny about, and I've learned this now, because it is a little different than when I was doing the roundy round stuff, and I learned this from Scott Pettit, which was I'm like, well, I got at that point, if it's early 13, you're like, well, dude, I got like 3 months to get this car ready. No, you have 7 days, as in this many Saturdays and Sundays to get the car ready. Longest stretch in your life was probably, I have my car, it's at my home. How many days to the opener?
Yeah, and it was actually fine. It's like I'm fortunate to be able to work out of the house.
So,
So I'm there, so I can kind of make my own hours and do all that stuff. As long as I get my stuff done, keep my clients happy, everybody's happy.
boy, Dean's productivity in the morning has gone skyrocketed. He's done with everything by noon. I don't know how it happened.
Yeah. If I can't find him, where is he?
Yeah. He's not answering his phone, but his GPS says he's in his garage.
It just keeps moving back and forth like in a circle.
In a circle. Yeah.
So we get the car, and it's like, all right, it's supposed to be like a low 9-second car, like a 9:20, 9:30, something like that. The guy doesn't really know. Apparently, that I got it from, he only ran it a couple times, and he was scared of it. So I mean, he's one of these guys that bought the car and went out, and the guy told him that he bought it from. It's just like, just ease into it, and he pulls like what you're talking, just lets go of the button, and
Fuck
just
it,
like, I'm just going. It's like, no.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he's after like whatever tested, or I don't think he actually ever even raced it.
Oh, really? He just said, I'm done.
But it's just like, yeah, it's a lot. So anyway, so I'm thinking, it's like, okay, we'll go take it back, tear it all apart just to make sure everything's good. I want to start with a clean slate. We're doing it. So we had, like an extra 10 in the budget to make sure everything's
go through
good.
everything.